What's going on, guys? Ratchet Games here. Today we're going to be starting a new series after doing the main Ratchet and Clank trilogy on the PS2, and that is going to be Ratchet Deadlocked, or Ratchet Gladiator if you like me and live in Europe. And we're actually going to be using the PCSX2 emulator to play this because the port that was released to the PS3 was kind of rubbish. It had a lot of issues, a lot of frame rate issues and things like that, and a lot of texture issues as well. So like I said, we're going to be using the PS2 emulator PCSX2 to play through this. Should be quite interesting, similar to the other Ratchet and Clank games. I haven't played through this in quite a long time, and even though it's more of a spin-off game, I still think it's really enjoyable. It's got a really awesome soundtrack as well to it. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what this game has to offer. I'm just going to make sure the subtitles are on. And like I said, it has got that good soundtrack, so make sure our music volume's maxed out. And similar to other games really, I'm just going to be playing this on the normal difficulty. The game isn't too difficult, but it does offer a decent amount of challenge in some parts of it. But obviously if you wanted to make things easier or harder, you do have that option.
Gotcha.
A dramatic conclusion to one of the most exciting episodes of Dreadzone I have ever seen. Captain Starshield, the #1 ranked gladiator, has been terminated by Ace Hardlight. Ace has now eliminated a record 13 contestants in the regular season.
Incoming call from the mayor of Metropolis. The new mayor of Metropolis.
Oh, you mean, right. Just a sec. Greetings, Mayor. No. Well, long time no see. No. So Metropolis still in one piece, huh?
Greetings, Captain. I see you're taking good care of my old ship.
Well, she need a lot of tuning up, but I've kept her running.
Of course. Anyway, I'm afraid I bring bad news. As you know, Captain Starshield disappeared over a month ago. I've just been informed that he's been killed.
Oh my gosh. No.
Oh, what happened?
Apparently he was involved with some kind of illegal combat sport, something called Dreadzone. We believe it was being run by this man, Gleeman Vox. He operates an underground media empire from within the Shadow Sector.
The Shadow Sector?
It's a lawless region of space on the fringe of the galaxy. Many other heroes have disappeared recently, and we fear that they might have met with the same fate. Ratchet, I just wanted to warn you before...
Unidentified craft approaching.
You the Lombax known as Ratchet.
I don't suppose you guys are here to fix the starboard engine, huh?
Yeah. We've captured Subject 209, Mr. Vox.
Excellent. Bring him in.
Yes, sir. We caught 2 strays in the process. Should we terminate them?
Give him collars and see if you can get some work out of them first.
Hello? Hello in there? Can you hear me? You've been unconscious for hours. You're probably a little disoriented. How many fingers am I holding up? Whoops. Looks like we've got a feedback loop in the visual matrix processor. Hold still a second. How's that? Okay, now to activate your speech function.
Me out of this thing, you blarg-headed frat monkey! I can barely breathe and my tail feels like it's shoved right up my...
There seems to be a problem with the speech circuitry. I'll take a look at it later. Now hold still. Let's just see if I wired that teleportation circuitry right.
The new armor you're wearing is standard issue for new contestants.
Contestants?
We will explain later. If you do not complete the qualification course in the allotted time, we will all be terminated. We must calibrate your battlesuit's targeting matrix. First, look over at the holo target on your left.
So the controls are the lock strafe controls from Ratchet Clank 3. It's the same control scheme I use for the majority of that game.
Good. Now shoot the holo target above you.
All right, Ratchet. Your movement circuit should be in working order now. Try getting to the top of that ledge.
And yeah, it definitely puts much more focus on the action and the shooting mechanics, which makes sense because that is the main focus of this game. But yeah, you can see with the intro cutscene there as well, there's quite an emphasis on humour still in a lot of the cutscenes.
I am transmitting a digital mini-map representation of the area. Can you see it? The mini-map will show you the positions of nearby enemies. I am reading 3 more holo targets in your vicinity. Good, Ratchet. There should be a teleporter nearby that will take you to the next stage of the qualification course.
Greetings, hero, and welcome to Dreadzone. Rest assured, you are now far beyond the reach of hope. There will be no rescues, no pardons, no possibility of escape. You are now a contestant on the greatest television program that Galaxy has ever known. A celebrity gladiator, battling for the pleasure of 1 billion screaming fans across the Shadow Sector and beyond. Chances are you'll be dead by tomorrow. But those of you who play the game with skill and strategy will earn a chance to win your freedom. So, good luck, hero. We'll be watching you.
Ratchet, I have figured out a way to get information to you without Vox knowing. Pay attention to secret messages at the bottom of your screen.
So you might notice 2 teleporters here. I think that's because the whole game can actually be played in co-op, which I used to do quite a lot with my brother growing up, which was quite cool. But obviously we'd be playing it through a single player this time. And yeah, you might have noticed a couple of issues in that cutscene there. That is down to the emulator, but it still performs a lot better than the HDB release that was released for the PS3. So I think this is still probably the best way to play it.
At the top of your screen is the experience bar. As you destroy enemies, you gain experience. When the bar is full, you will gain a level, and your nanotech will increase.
And all these enemies, these smaller enemies, can be taken out with the wrench. But at the start of the game here, we're going to want to get as much experience points for our weapons as possible.
Note the deadlock collar securely fastened around your neck. This collar cannot be broken or removed. Should you stray into any restricted area, the collar will administer an extremely painful shock. Observe.
I hate this job.
Should a contestant become uncooperative or worse, boring, his or her collar can be detonated at any time with the push of a button. Well, there you have it. Nothing to lose your head over. Right?
Congratulations, Ratchet. You made it through the qualification course. Check your map. There should be a teleporter nearby. Use the teleporter to meet me back at our Dreadzone containment.
Wow, this place is crazy. I've always wondered what it'd be like to be a professional gladiator. I mean, these guys have the life, the fame, the money, the babes.
Try not to forget that we are being held prisoner by a criminal organization. This is no time for fantasizing.
Welcome, hero, to your new living quarters. Your luxury containment suite is equipped with everything you will need as a contestant on Dreadzone. Please make yourself comfortable. You'll most likely be spending the rest of your life here.
Ratchet, you should go find Al. I have marked his location on your map. I think he has something to show you.
So this is our Dreadzone quarters. You can see the arena in the background there. We'll be going there every now and then to complete Dreadzone challenges. Got quite a good soundtrack to it as well. Here is vendor. You see we already have some weapons available to us as well. Something that they introduced with this game being Omega mods, which alter the way your weapon changes, and we'll be purchasing some of these throughout the game as they become available to us. Some of them are very, very powerful and make your weapons much more useful. And then there's this weapon here, the B6 Obliterator, which basically acts like, you know, your basic bomb launcher, like the mini bomb launcher or mini nuke launcher from Ratchet and Clank 2, or the nitro launcher in Ratchet Clank 3. But first of all,
have you visited Al yet?
To stop Clank moaning at us, we're going to visit Al. See, he's got some stuff waiting for us.
Hey, Al.
Hey, Ratchet. I have something to show you. Meet your new battle bots.
Call me Merc. This here's Green. Hi, sir.
I got them off a former contestant who, he won't be needing them anymore.
Don't worry, boss. You won't end up like that last guy. I hope not. I still have nightmares about it. Oh, suck it up, Green.
Once you win a few battles, we can afford to upgrade them. Just come and see me whenever you want to juice them up.
So in Al's little section here, there is this vendor, and there's different sort of categories of things you can purchase for them. So there are upgrades that improve their weapons or their armor or their abilities, which is pretty cool. You don't get used to the battle bots if you're playing the game co-op, but they definitely come in handy at certain points throughout the game when you are playing it single player, because this game does throw a lot of enemies at you. You can also purchase different paint jobs for them, and you unlock more of these as you level up in Dreadzone levels, and I think you can unlock some more of them by getting skill points as well. You can also change the head of the droid as well, and there'll be a couple of options that become available to us throughout the game, which is pretty cool.
You ever been in country? Seen combat?
Me? Yeah, before I came here, I saw a little action. It didn't end too well. I got my legs blown off. But I was top of my class in boot camp.
Hey, you ought to go say hi to...
Hey, nice digs.
Digs?
I mean, what's all the hardware for?
Ah, they call this the mission control room. Each contestant is assigned a mission engineer to monitor their progress.
Right. So what's-his-face figured he'd save a few bolts and make you do it.
Ahem.
All right, fresh meat. Enough chit-chat. You're next up in the Battle Dome, after Mobius Man. And from the way he's fighting, it won't be much longer. Now move it!
Ratchet, I will assist you any way I can.
Thanks, Clank. These guys obviously don't know who they're messing with.
Attention, hero. Report to the Battle Dome transport shuttle immediately. Failure to comply will result in termination. for choosing Vox Airways for your traveling needs. We do hope you have a pleasant flight. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our in-flight entertainment, courtesy of the Vox Network.
Something you should know. I'm not a real tyrannoid.
Will you lose your lunch if you have to watch one more reality dating show? Is your blogs gone wild, video scratched from overuse? Then it's time to turn that dial to something a little more dangerous. Time for some real action. It's time to blow it up! That's right, it's time for Dreadzone, the galaxy's #1 uncensored, unethical, and completely underground combat sport. Blasting straight at you, live from the Battle Dome. And now, on pay-per-view, watch as Ratchet and Clank take on Ace Hardlight and the Exterminators. They save the galaxy 3 times over, but how long can they survive in the zone? Catch it live, right here, on Vox.
Oh, and that is it for Mobius Man, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Eviscerator's 4th victim already this season. Next up, we have, let's see here, Ratchet? Yeah, I never heard of him. Well, he's probably just intermission material, folks, but don't worry, we have Grey Thunder and Hydro Girl coming up later, so stay tuned to Dreadzone. Well, here he is. He's a little guy, isn't he? Well, don't bother getting up for drinks, folks. This guy won't last 2 rounds.
We'll see.
Dreadzone fans, this is it. Let's introduce our first contestant. He's a Lombax. He spent time in prison. He hates candy and children. Let's hear it for Ratchet and Team Darkstar.
Uh-oh. I guess I didn't calibrate that bot correctly. Go ahead and press the down directional.
So this always happens. It's just teaching you how to repair your bots when they become damaged in combat.
You can press the down directional button at any time to make your bots regroup to your position.
Got our first skill point there, and I'm not going to worry too much about getting all the skill points throughout the game because you do have descriptions of how to get all of them, and there are a lot to get because there's different ones on all the different planets, and then there's some that you get in the arena as well, and it will take a very long time to get them all. You pick up quite a few of them just while playing the game naturally a lot of the time. Did have a little bit of a frame dip there. I'll have to look and see if I'll figure out what's causing that. To be fair, the game didn't exactly run at 60 frames a second on the PS2. It was definitely fudged a little bit.
Dreadzone challenges sometimes use bolt cranks to activate devices or lower force fields. But be careful, Ratchet. The bolt cranks may trigger incoming waves of enemies. Ratchet, my scanners show an extremely deadly 70mm stalker turret ahead of you. You need to get behind cover immediately. The shields on that turret are impenetrable. You will have to use an EMP to take them down. Command your bot to toss out an EMP by pressing the left directional button.
So you notice on the left there we have the option, it's flashing, and one of the robots will chuck out an EMP, and we'll have to do this many points throughout the game, take out target shields.
Excellent work, Ratchet. Now that you have survived the qualification course, you will be allowed to join us back at our containment area.
So at the end of each Dreadzone challenge, you do get a medal, and then you get a little sort of summary of, you know, kills, the amount of time it took you to complete it, the amount of bolts earned, and it also keeps track of your skill points for you as well, which is quite handy. And for completing that challenge, we did unlock Catacomb 4. Nice little introduction to the game.
Let's keep this quick, Box.
Oh, well, far be it from me to keep the superstar exterminator from his busy social schedule. I just have one question for you.
Okay, shoot.
Would you like to buy an Ace Hardlight video game? How about an Ace Hardlight lunchbox? Action figures, movie rights, collectible trading cards? Ace Hardlight is the perfectly manufactured celebrity, straight from the presses of the Gleeman Vox Media empire. So tell me, why is it that I can't give this stuff away?
Well,
Don't answer that. Let me take a wild guess. It's because my fans can't stand Ace Hardlight! He's a pompous with the charisma of blogging nut cheese!
so what are you saying, exactly?
Zip it, Wonder Boy! The little Billies and Susies of the world are spending 1 trillion bolts a day on worthless swag, and I'm completely cut out of the market! Either you start selling this junk, or I'll find someone who will! Now get out of my sight!
So it's kind of cool how Ratchet Gladiator sort of returns to the corporate or over-corporatization message that was in the original series.
Ratchet, you need to choose where you are going to compete next. This is the interplanetary transport. It will take you to Dreadzone battle courses on other planets. It travels on a planned course. Any tampering with the nav computer causes the ship to explode.
So yeah, this is just how we get to all the planets we unlock throughout the game to complete more Dreadzone challenges. And you can see Catacomb 4, which is the planet we unlocked at the end of that little arena challenge we did. There's all these other planets here as well.
It's a beautiful spring day on Catacomb 4, Juanita, as we kick off a brand new season of Dreadzone.
That's right, Dallas, and we're lucky enough to have a bird's eye view of the action.
Even from up here, this season's Dreadzone battle courses look bigger and deadlier than ever.
It's a wonder contestants keep volunteering, isn't it?
That's a good one. Oh, yeah. The Vox construction team really outdid themselves in turning this once sacred robotic burial ground into a deadly Dreadzone battle course.
And look, here comes today's first contestant. Oh my, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel to find these guys, aren't they? I hope you folks at home aren't too squeamish, because the next one looks like a bleeder.
Ratchet's first objective is a gimme, Juanita. All he has to do is make his way to the other side of this mountain pass.
One of the more iconic soundtracks of the game. Very, very cool. And yeah, if you look in the vendor, after doing that first tournament, there is a Hollow Shield launcher. And I've never really messed around with this. I think the Hollow Shield glove in Ratchet and Clank 3 left a bad taste in my mouth. But a lot of people do use this, and it is supposedly a lot better than it was in Ratchet and Clank 3. And I do know the shield is a lot bigger than it throws out. so it's more useful that way as well. But a lot of the arenas have cover in them, so you don't necessarily... I've never really found a need for this. But in terms of our Omega mods, we also have the Napalm mod available to us. This is really powerful, leaves like a damaging area of effect of Napalm, obviously, for some of your weapons, and it's good when it's combined with the B6 Obliterator, because then you have an explosion that leaves a damaging pool to then damage any enemies that are left over. But something to note is that you don't get your ammo refilled in between challenges. We did just have to top up there.
The shields on that turret are impenetrable. You will have to use an EMP to take them down. Command your bot to toss out an EMP by pressing the left directional button.
Oh, this is more fun than a busload of cheerleaders.
Defeating enemies automatically upgrades your Dreadzone weaponry and improves your maximum nanotech level.
So I'm pretty sure there is a skill point you can get for completing that in under 2 minutes, but obviously we spent a little bit of time in the vendor there talking at the start, which stopped us from doing that. But yeah, nice simple challenge this one. They definitely make things quite easy for you at the start of the game.
As Team Darkstar continues toward the Catacrom Burial Dome, they'll need to cross what I like to call the chasm of endless falling and eventual dying. In the unlikely event that they survive, they'll take control of the big, fat, and burly walking armored tank called the Landstalker. Good luck, kids.
Ratchet, you will have to capture all 3 nodes to extend the bridge.
And then we are thrown directly into the next challenge, but I think I'm going to leave this one for next episode and wrap this episode up here. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode. A little bit slower, but similar to the other Ratchet and Clank games. You know, there's a lot of cutscenes at the start, and they sort of introduce you to things relatively slowly. But now we can, next episode, we'll really be able to get into the game and you know, start earning some bolts to get some new weapons and mods and things like that, and leveling our weapons up. And this first planet is really fun as well. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this first little episode, and look forward to the rest of the series. If you have enjoyed the episodes, then like and subscribe for more, and then that way you won't miss out on what's coming next. But thanks again for watching. Always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.